So the Beekeeper is basically what you would get if Denzel Washington was not playing the Equalizer, and instead you had Jason Statham play the character. But in a world whereby everything feels like something from the late 2000s, the world feels more playful. The movie takes itself seriously, but it's written in such a way that everything feels a bit playful. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's paced so fast that it doesn't have that weight of the Equalizer. You know, the Equalizer had that thing of they introduce an action set piece and then they ground you, they put you in a story and they try to, make you understand where each character is coming from. This movie does not do that. This is an all-out action movie, but not with a lot of action set pieces. Just a few action set pieces here, but it's designed like an action movie. Now, here's the thing that I liked about this movie. First of all, the pacing. It moves. I didn't feel like I was bored in this movie, apart from the last part of the second act and the beginning of the third act. There's a moment after something happens to the main character on a petrol station where she's attacked by someone. Between that point and going to the White House, there's a period whereby everything just slows down and there's a lot of talking and there's a lot of interaction, which is not a bad thing, but it helps with the story. But generally, the movie feels like it's paced very well. It's directed competently. It has style within it. Either it's the costume department or the general visual. It has a look. There's a look about it that it doesn't make it unique. It just makes it look and feel cinematic. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. And generally, the performances are okay. And here's where the direction for me actually really worked. If this was under another director, there would be a very big problem. This would have been this looked like it was one of those poor scripts that are usually left. When you hear about scripts being left on the floor in Hollywood, this feels like much like it. But I think David Ayer was given this because of his relationship with crime movies. And so you can see that, especially in the screenplay, in how some characters behave. Especially, the story is basically there's this old lady who took in Jason Statham, and so she's scammed, and then after she's scammed, she commits, something happens to her, and then after that something happens to her. Now Jason Statham has to go out and find these people, the scammers, and try to find the people behind that. Now he works for an organization of beekeepers. These are like the elites of the elites. You have the SEALs, you have the SWATs, and then there's the beekeepers who are like super elites. And so he was one of those, but they were talking about how he was unstable, and now that he's back, he's supposed to be like the most dangerous person in the film. And sometimes you see that, especially when he takes out a group of armed personnel, and I'm like, how is he able to do this? These people are armored. They have the helmet, they have the bulletproof stuff, but he's able to punch his way through them. I was like, that was kind of odd, but again, the movie does not take itself seriously. Now, the other thing that I absolutely really loved was the bad guys. Jeremy Irons' character is not given full room to actually give us Jeremy Irons, but there's a young man. The young man is supposed to be taken care of because Jeremy Irons' arc is that he's in love with this woman who's supposed, I think she's the president, and he is, for lack of a better word, simping for this woman, and then so he has to take care of the son, and the son now is the one who's running something, and so every now and then the son messes up, and so he's the one who keeps clearing out his mess. Let me just put it that way. And so yeah, the guy who was playing that character was pretty cool. There was these groups of scammers, and they had very, very interesting leads. For me, I thought, and this goes to the bad, I thought, if you've ever heard of phishing, scamming, the first thing that comes into mind is India, because you see a lot of that on YouTube. You see a lot of Indian people in a small room doing the hacking with like super old computers, but in this, it's much glossy, it's much colorful, they're in a room and it has a big screen and it's, I think you've seen it from the trailer. And so that for me was the moment I went like, I don't think, okay, yeah, they might be, or David Ayer was trying to make fun of the stock market, because I think that's how they usually behave. But it doesn't really feel like these are the scammers that I would expect them to be. Despite the fact that they were scamming people a lot of money, I wouldn't think that this is how they look. I think this is over sensational because it doesn't really look that way. But anyway, it served its purpose. I think those colorful characters who were the heads of those hubs were pretty cool. Jason Statham as the character, I think is the same guy from Transporter. I think it's the absolute same character. It's only that this time he takes care of bees. He's a bee person. He's not a car person. But if you've seen the first Transporter and the second Transporter, then you've seen this character. Now to the birds, I think I've just mentioned it. I didn't feel like the scammers felt like scammers real world. I think it was, it was a bit too glossy, which is not a good thing. I think that's the direction that David Ayer was going with. The other thing that I had a problem with was one particular henchwoman who, there's a scene at a gas station, what we call petrol station, at a gas station, and you have this over-the-top character who comes in, and I expected more from her with the way that she was introduced and what she was doing, but the way she is taken out for me, I was like, what? Just that, is that all that we've got with what you were doing with this character? So that for me was kind of disappointing because I felt like that character actually kind of looked cool. I wish they would have done something more with her. But a petrol station, a gas station scene, if you've seen the movie, you understand what I'm talking about. There's a big gun, there are a lot of guns. And again, going back into the playfulness and the dumbness of this movie, you have gas or petrol, fuel, pouring all over, and there are bullets flying everywhere. Jason Statham sets this person on fire and he walks away. Nothing else catches fire until he is far enough to have a big explosion. This is the kind of movie that The Beekeeper is. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's basically The Beekeeper. Think of it that way, whereby the hero gets to walk away while a whole building explodes, despite the fact that all he did was pour gasoline on a few computers and then set it on fire, but somehow that makes a whole building just explode. So this is that kind of a movie. So if you're looking for that kind of a movie, this is what you'll get. If you're going to the cinemas, yeah, it's okay in the cinemas, but I would have preferred if this was on streaming. I think it would have worked better for me. I speak for myself, because as much as you have all those good action set pieces, you don't have those moments of, pure cinema. I think of it this way: we are in the age of Sisu, Mr. Nobody, John Wick, Bullet Train, whereby the action stands out and the action is good enough. You go and have a good cinematic experience. When you go and watch this with the editing and just how quickly the action set pieces go by, you feel underwhelmed. And that's why I feel that this could have worked well on stream. But basically, that's how I felt about the movie. For a January movie, it's actually really good. If I was to give this a score, I'd give this a 3, because it's entertaining, not perfect, but entertaining. And if you love Jason Statham, you'll have a great time. If you're looking for just a random crime movie to just go and enjoy, this works perfectly. So basically, that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Please subscribe, click the like button, and I shall see you on the next one.